I will say I'll give a lot of credit to our players. I think they played extremely hard. I'm really proud of their effort and how they played tonight. We just came up short. We just didn't make enough plays on offense. Had a couple critical errors, obviously very obvious. And you can't do that playing a very good football team. A lot of credit to Air Force. They came out and ran the ball really well. They put a lot of effort as well. It was a hard-fought game. I thought the players really played extremely hard. I'm very proud of that. We just came up short. And we're going to make some corrections and keep pounding away, keep working. Believe in these kids. I really do. It's tough. It's not easy because you had that one mistake right there in the second quarter. It could be 21-0 in a different game. But had to drop ball and didn't make a play, and they got a little momentum. But I'm proud of the kids. They really played hard.
Questions?
Coach, what's going to be your message to Chase? He had 3 touchdowns for obviously 4 interceptions.
Yeah, 2 of them are really not his fault. The other 2 were. We got to go back at the film and look at it and study it. I know the easy route to go is say, let's pull him. But after he made his second interception, I looked him in the eye and I said, I believe you. And that goes a long way with young men nowadays. So you believe him. And then he had that third down where he made a huge play, scored a touchdown, and it bounced right back. I think sometimes you give up on kids too quickly. It can send a bad message. So now, if all 4 of those were his fault, it's a different conversation. But we got to go back and look at the film, really study it, evaluate it, and make sure we get the best guys on the field as we move forward in these games.
Anybody else?
Your first 60 minutes as a head coach, is there anything you learned or something that you're going to apply to your next game that you didn't know today?
Every experience and every game, you're constantly learning, and the whole, head coach responsibility was obviously very excited about, but you got to make decisions, and I felt good about the decision we made, kind of based on how the game was going. I never really got overwhelmed or thought it was out of my hands. The decision making, even balancing the play calling, and talking to the defense and the special teams guys, and I thought it went fairly smooth. Operationally, our staff did a great job picking up the slack when I wasn't out there. I talked to the offense for a few minutes before we had to get back. But really, everybody rallied around, and staff did a great job. Players put their tail off, and again, I know it's about wins and losses and more points to them. But there's a lot of good effort and a lot of good teaching we get off that film as we move forward to Colorado State.
Air Force's backup quarterback, when he came in, he hurt you with his runs. I mean, you can't really say that's been in retrospect. Was it, almost better the worse that you knocked out the starting quarterback?
In my entire career, whenever the backup comes in, it's never good because he just lets it rip. He just has fun. He's coming off the bench. He's got nothing to lose in every game, and that's a lot of credit to him. The kid did a great job. He executed their offense really well. A lot of triple option decisions he had to make. He's probably not getting all the reps in practice. But I truly believe our defense did a great job. I don't know the numbers yet. I haven't really looked at them. I know they rushed for 10 yards, but if you guys saw the effort and the look in their eye, even more on the sideline and in the huddle, we were talking about relentless effort all week long, and the kids were shouting it back to us. There's a big buy-in factor right now. Again, I know the points aren't there, the score's not there. That'll come. I believe that. But these kids are still believing. They'll come back to work hard on Sunday, and we'll go back for another week of practice.
Are you stuck with Jason because you thought the power of you believing in him and what he gets from that was bigger than the mistakes he might have been making?
You're never stuck. Never stuck. I mean, as a grown man, you got to make decisions based on the football team. And I just thought that he came back and made a big play on the touchdown. And again, I know that's going to be a huge conversation piece. But that's part of being a head coach and the decisions you make. I still think it's the right decision. But again, like I said, moving forward, we've got to watch this tape really closely and clean it up and make the best decisions for the football team as we move forward. But I still believe in the kid. I really do. I know it's tough to say, because the numbers aren't there. But he's a competitor. He's a fighter. And when you're in times like this, those are the kind of guys you need.
But do you think he made his best play of the game, between the long touchdown to Kiesau where Kiesau kind of pointed, and he scrambled, and that was between, after his third pick, right? So
Exactly.
that's what leaving him in, lets him make a play like that.
Exactly. That goes all back to the buy-in factor, you got a coach that believes in you. Even when it's easy, when everything's going great, it's throwing 5 touchdowns, it's easy to pat them on the butt and say good job. But you go through a little adversity and you stick by someone, and they know that you care about them, and they know they believe in them, they'll come back and play harder for you and work harder for you. And like I said, we got to go back and watch the film and look at it, but I don't second guess the decision to make a change during this game. I really don't. It was a tight game. He can make some plays for us, and we just didn't get it done tonight. Didn't make plays.
One more question?
I feel like some of those interceptions might have impacted Chasen, his performance, reads from there on.
Not really, no. They brought a little more zero pressure in the second half. They probably heat us up a little more in the second half, so you had some guys around a little bit more. So, and that goes back to evaluating the film, really watching. That's why I don't want to talk prematurely quite yet. But I don't think it really ran. He stood in the pocket there good, and obviously they got us a few times. But no, I think he'll be all right.
Thank you, Coach.
Yep, you got it. Thank you guys.